The Fountain of Youth is a mythical spring which allegedly restores the youth of anyone who drinks or bathes in its waters. Tales of such a fountain have been recounted around the world for thousands of years, appearing in the writings of Herodotus, 5th century BC, in the Alexander Romance, 3rd century AD, and in the stories of Prester John, early Crusades, 11th-12th centuries AD. Stories of similar waters also featured prominently among the people of the Caribbean during the Age of Exploration, early 16th century. They spoke of the restorative powers of the water in the mythical land of Bimini. Based on these many legends, explorers and adventurers looked for the elusive fountain of youth or some other remedy to aging, generally associated with magic waters. These waters might have been a river, a spring, or any other water source said to reverse the aging process and to cure sickness when swallowed or bathed in. The legend became particularly prominent in the 16th century, when it became associated with the Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon, the first governor of Puerto Rico. Ponce de Leon was supposedly searching for the Fountain of Youth when he traveled to Florida in 1513. Legend has it that Native Americans told Ponce de Leon that the Fountain of Youth was in Bimini. Tales of sacred, restorative waters existed well before the birth of Spanish conquistador Juan Ponce de Leon around 1474. Alexander the Great, for example, was said to have come across a healing river of paradise in the 4th century BC, and similar legends cropped up in such disparate locations as the Canary Islands, Japan, Polynesia, and England. During the Middle Ages, some Europeans even believed in the mythical King Prester John, whose kingdom allegedly contained a fountain of youth and a river of gold. Historians began linking Ponce de Leon with the Fountain of Youth not long after his death. In 1535, Gonzalo Fernández de Oviedo y Valdez accused Ponce de Leon of seeking the fountain in order to cure his sexual impotence. Hernando de Escalante Fontaneda, who lived with indigenous peoples in Florida for many years after surviving a shipwreck, also derided Ponce de Leon in his 1575 memoir, saying it was a cause for merriment that he sought out the Fountain of Youth. Although Herrera only referred to the Fountain of Youth in passing, writing that it turned old men to boys, he helped solidify it in the public's imagination. Ponce, of course, never found the Fountain of Youth. If he had, he'd still be here to tell us about it. Instead, he died. In 1521, on the Gulf Coast, he was shot in the thigh with an arrowhead carved out of a fishbone. The wound festered and eventually killed him in Cuba. Herodotus mentions a fountain containing a special kind of water in the land of the Macrobians, which gives the Macrobians their exceptional longevity. The ichthyophagid then in their turn questioned the king concerning the term of life and diet of his people, and were told that most of them lived to be 120 years old, while some even went beyond that age. They ate boiled flesh, and had for their drink nothing but milk. When the ichthyophagi showed wonder at the number of the years, he led them to a fountain, wherein when they had washed, they found their flesh all glossy and sleek, as if they had bathed in oil, and a scent came from the spring like that of violets. The water was so weak, they said, that nothing would float in it, neither wood, nor any lighter substance, but all went to the bottom. If the account of this fountain be true, it would be their constant use of the water from it which makes them so long-lived. A story of the water of life also appears in the Eastern versions of the Alexander Romance, which describes Alexander the Great and his servant crossing the land of darkness to find the restorative spring. The servant in that story is in turn derived from Middle Eastern legends of Al-Qadr, a sage who appears also in the Quran. Arabic and Al-Yamiyato versions of the Alexander Romance were very popular in Spain during and after the period of Moorish rule, and would have been known to the explorers who journeyed to America. These earlier accounts inspired the popular medieval fantasy The Travels of Sir John Mandeville, which also mentions the Fountain of Youth as located at the foot of a mountain outside Palam, modern Kollam, in India. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe.